to know his grandfather and getting to know some of the other relatives that you might have been aware of who were, outstanding people that he never got to know. And so this is something that he absolutely wants to incorporate into him, sort of honoring you and your wisdom and the sort of like values and priorities that you have always tried to instill in him. And then I'm going to, right now I'm going to get the other section that you wanted me to receive. So, he also says, the other part to it is that he wants to take time over there and study assiduously what it means to be a person who learns how to resist these sort of temptations that exist over here on this side for the human body. He, he wants to be a person who would have never have made a mistake like this again. And he wants to learn to understand what is it about his psyche or about the influences maybe that he was subjected to. What are the components that led him to kind of like overestimate his own ability to navigate through the tricky waters of that particular drug. This is me, Seraphine, talking. I've lost friends as well, very good friends to heroin as well. And I can say, my gosh, some of it, there's so much innocent for the user. It's become such an epidemic, and it's so, it goes beyond their capacity, a normal person's capacity to resist. So I would imagine that in some part it really is just the drug, and it sounds like it was a really bad batch. So all the elements of this, he was saying, I think this even includes, am I correct in understanding, like, the temptation to do it in the first place, Michael? Is that also what you mean? Because your mom was explaining that there was, like, a bad batch that she learned was going around. Mary, you said it claimed the lives of 30 other people?
Yeah, there's like 20 some in Cincinnati, and then like some in near Cleveland and stuff. So yeah, it was all throughout the state. On that
Oh, my
weekend.
God.
Yeah.
So you went out, Michael, you went outside of that, because it sounds like it sounds like you would have been able to help because it was just poisonous. Could you elaborate on that a little bit? Okay, give me one moment while I get it. He is confirming that he does need, outside of the fact that it was a particularly poisonous batch, he means that just the components that would lead him to play around with something like that, to sort of like underestimate its threat and to overestimate his own capacity to be able to withstand and not fall into any sort of like habitual use of it. That this was something that he is really keen to understand, and I think he had a sense that he did really understand how to manage or how not to get too caught up in it. But it's something that what he overestimated is how shockingly poisonous and deadly some of these batches can be. Am I understanding that correctly, Michael? Comments. Yes, he is confirming that he was someone who thought that he did understand how to not make usage of a drug like that into a regular thing. He thought that he did understand that, but he said that he was very foolish and very, very naive to think that he could expose himself to any amount of usage of that when it's something that really can be so deadly just one time. And this is something that he honestly did not do a good job having him examine this and come to terms with it in a very forthright and responsible sort of way. And that he feels that he owes you to honor you and to honor this sort of integrity. He said you are a person of of great integrity and great sort of practical common sense, and that this is something that he really admires about you. And so in your honor, he feels like he owes you him sitting down and really getting real about what it is that he was being foolish about and what it is that he wasn't kind of, I don't know if you and him had ever talked about this directly, but the sense that I get is that you are just someone who would have not ever made a choice like that. You wouldn't have even messed around with it. There's something about your wisdom that he is saying he really, really should have embodied from the get-go and from the start. He just should have been more like you and just understood certain realities that you just don't mess with. And I think this might be something owing to his younger kind of perspective and his younger sense of wisdom, that although he was a very, very responsible young man, he could have been even more responsible. And this is something that he is taking very seriously, what happened. And he is wanting to seek to understand how he could have just have the sort of insight that you would have had. And so that's something that he is wanting to convey. So is that resonating with you?
It resonates very, very much with me. I would have been the first person he could have talked to. I'm amazingly non-judgmental, and he knows that. And yeah, it resonates very, very true. In his spirit, and it makes a lot of sense. I know we'll finish this up, and I'll have 1,000 things I would want to ask him. I ask him, does he actually send me signs?
Yes.
Okay.
He says absolutely. It's one of the first things that they teach the departed loved ones when they cross over, is how to come through using signs for your family and your loved ones. If you want, I think you might have a couple of words to say on that. If you wanted to finish your question, though, I can make sure that you get the question out the way that you wanted to for him.
No, let him talk.
Okay. So she has wanted to confirm that you are sending signs of some kind and letting her know that you're there. Okay, so he's going to give me the response. It'll take just a moment. Okay, I think there might be two parts to this. Is that correct, Michael? Okay, he's saying yes. Okay, the first part is he said yes, he confirmed that he is. It's definitely one of the first things that he is being taught is how to come through with regards to signs. And then he went on to say he's also working to try to learn how to build up a presence, a sense of presence. So if you are, around the house at some point and you can get a sense of him being there and sort of keeping you company, he wants to learn how to build that up so that it comes through strongly, so you can feel like it sounds like, it seems like it's him, like it feels like him. And also I got that, and it seems like, how can I say it? That it feels like him, and that it feels like a time in which he would come through and be there. And I also got that he applies that with regards to signs, that he's also working on perfecting like the timing of signs so that they come through in a way that also seems like, I would imagine, he would make a comment right about now, and that's maybe the time that you receive a sign, is that it comes through like in a way that really conveys his personality. And so, here, let me get the second part to what you were going to say. Okay, so what he was saying that he's going to, these are kind of like, these are skills that a person learns. And so he's still working on, are you still there?
Yeah. No.
He's saying that he is still working on learning. What he's going to be really kind of studying hard to learn how to do is ways in which to come through, like I said, with regards to like a specific sense of timing or synchronicity. So like say, for example, you're talking with a friend about Michael and you just happen to mention him, and then right then a commercial comes on the TV that says the name Michael. And he's working on that sort of sense of synchronicity, and that it maybe, if he's lucky, and he's able to work enough that and maybe it can also sort of convey a sense of his personality. So he's looking to try to convey elements where that you say to yourself, that seems like Michael, or that feels like Michael. I sense his presence, or that sign is just the sort of thing that he would like. Say it's a song, and you're like, that's one of his favorite songs. I remember that. And it has, say, the name Michael attached to it in some way. So these components that maybe reflect him. And he says that he's working on trying to learn how to do that in such a way that it might override one's logical tendency to dismiss it as coincidence or mere chance. That he's looking at ways to make it come through so synchronous. And the feeling, is recognizable that it's maybe him in the room. That it's enough where that you might be more inclined to say, this isn't just my imagination. This isn't just my, my own wishful thinking. I think that is really uncanny. Like, what are the chances that right as I was talking about Michael, his favorite song came through the radio and the name Michael was mentioned by the DJ? Things like that.
Okay, go ahead. I have to tell you what just happened.
That what happened?
This happened while you were speaking.
Oh
I'm in his friend's room. I'm traveling from the state. I'm in California right now. I'm from Ohio, and I'm sitting in this young girl's bedroom, and I've got the iPad in front of me. I had no control of what is in this room. And as we were speaking, I looked up to the right and I see a card and it says "In Remembrance." And I know what this is that I'm about to open. And it's his memorial card with his picture. And it reads underneath, "You are not forgotten. You are not forgotten, loved one, nor will you ever be. As long as life and memories last, we will remember thee. We miss you now. Our hearts are sore. As time goes by,